name is Sheree. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, it's always good to see you. If you're new, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. And why don't both of you guys actually just head on over to Instagram, check me out. I like to post about 3 times, sometimes a little bit more, not too much, a week. Just things you're not going to see here on my channel, some daily looks, things I'm inspired by. So today I wanted to play with a new palette. I've really been curious about KKW Beauty. Her other palettes, they just didn't really do it for me, the color selection. I kind of already have those 10 times over. And to be truthful, I have this one probably in a lot of palettes. But this one actually was the closest to me going, hey, you know what? I can try this one out. I like the colors overall. So today I'm going to play with this bad boy. This will be my first impression of the palette. I like to play with palettes for a little bit, do a few looks before I actually give a review. But this will be my first impression. I mean, truthfully, this is another warm palette. I'm sure if you like to collect makeup and you consider yourself an enthusiast, a makeup junkie, makeup artist, whatever title you give yourself, I'm almost pretty positive you have these colors. Again, I just really wanted to try KK Beauty out, and this palette came out, and it was something that I was like, you know what, I can kind of dive into that. So we'll see how this goes. I'm thinking a smoky eye. Let's jump right into that. Before I jump into the smoky eye, I usually do kind of a, I don't know, loose color on the outside, and this one I'm going to try to give it a little bit more structure, so I'm going to actually use some translucent powder and stamp it in the corner just to kind of stop the shadow. Okay, so my eyes are primed and looking crazy. I just put a little bit of translucent powder and stamped it on the corner. For the look that I'm going to go for today, that'll just help keep the shadow where I want it and maybe have not so much of a sharp edge or sharp wing, but it'll definitely give it a little bit more structure than the usual diffuse kind of loose look I usually go for. For this palette, the colors are on the back, the color names are on the back, and they're in no particular order, so hopefully I'm nailing it. I don't know if it goes right to left, left to right. We'll just figure this out together. So the first color I'm going to dip into is Fire, and I'm using my Sigma E25 brush. I'm actually just going to pack the color on the outer third of the lid and start to pack it in my crease. Color Fire packed on the outer third and stamped a little bit into my crease, I'm now picking up my Sigma E38 and going to start to blend and diffuse the edges a little bit. Blend it slightly inwards and diffuse the edges. With Fire placed in my crease and on the outer third of my lid and blend it out just a bit, now I'm going to take my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush and dip into the color, excuse me, it's on the back. I think it's Pele's Curse. I'll put a picture on the screen and like show you which color it is. With this color, I really just want to deepen up the outer V and start to bring it slightly into my crease. Okay, with Pele's Curse placed in the outer V and slightly in the crease, just in the corner, I'm now going to pick up the same brush that I used to blend out the other one, my Sigma E38. There's no product on it, I'm just now going to blend it a bit more into the crease and diffuse the edges on the side. Okay, so that's pretty blended. Looks like it to me on this side. Hopefully it does on that side. I just took a brush and brushed away the extra translucent powder that I put on the side to shape it some more. So now I can go ahead with the lower lash after I do the lid. So for the lid, I'm going to take Fiery Eruption. I think that's what it's called. I'll put a picture up above so you guys can see it. Just put a little bit on my finger and I'm going to place it all over the lid. That is a really pretty color. Hopefully you guys can see it the way it looks in person, well, close, on camera. I like it. Alright, so I'm actually going to pick up a little bit more Pele's Curse on my Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush and place it in the crease a little bit further in, just above where I put the shimmer. So with my finger, I'm actually going to pick up some Pele's Curse and place it just on the inner third of my lid. Okay, I wanted to darken it just a little bit, but not too much. So I like the way that looks. Let's kind of move on. Picking up my Natasha Denona number 4, I'm going into the color Golden Ember, I think. And gonna place this dry in my inner corner, and if I need to spritz the brush to give it a little bit more pop, we'll go from there. I'll work with that. So I kind of want to add a little bit of something else. It's a bit flat. I mean, it works. It's pretty, but I actually want to, I like to layer shimmers a lot. So we're just going to do that. I'm picking up the color, let me turn the palette over and find out, Molten Magma with my Natasha Denona number 4. I actually just went ahead and cleaned it off, and I'm going to use it again. So I'm going to place this color just in the center of the lid, dry, and see if that does what I hope it will do. Yeah, no. So we're going to go back into that same color, same brush. This time I'm going to spritz it. I like that much better. I don't know if you can see the shift, the difference on camera between this eye and that eye. Hopefully you can, because it adds just a little bit of, kind of turns it into a duo chromatic color, just a bit, just a slight shift. I like it. So I'm going to do the other side. I like this color in the center. Now we're just going to go ahead and figure out the lower lash line. Oh yeah. Okay, so for my bottom lash line, I'm going into the color, I don't like it when the colors are on the back. The shade names, just, ugh. It's either Lava or Golden Ember. I'm assuming it's Lava, because it's not golden. Anyways, picking up my JH40 brush, I cleaned that one off. I'm going into that color and start to smoke out the lower lash line. I'm going to bring it down pretty far because I want to put another color on top of that. For the next step, I actually picked up one of her liner pencils in the color Rust. I'm actually going to place this in the inner third of my lower lash line, right where the golden highlight meets, and see what that does. So I placed Rust in the inner corner and started to bring it down just a bit. I kind of used it just a little bit over the inner corner highlight and started to bring it down. Taking my Sigma E30 and picking up the color Rust, now I'm going to smoke it down just before the other color, but right up to the top, if that makes sense. Okay, I like that. To be truthful, the only thing bothering me right now before I continue this lower lash line, I think the inner corner highlight is a bit too bright for me. I have to learn how to use golds, and until that happens, I'm kind of like, oh. Go into burnt and bronze and go right over this gold inner corner. Truthfully, I'm learning to use golds, and right now, for me, it's just a bit bright. If you like it where it is, keep it. I'm just going to go over that color. it just kind of made it more copper. Whatever, just keep on going. Okay, so now picking up my Morphe E36, going back into Pele's Curse, I'm going to Fix Plus my brush and stamp the color really close to the lower lash line, just above the color. I believe it was Fire that we used because I want to have a nice gradient, but I definitely want it to be a bit more saturated closer to the lash line. So I actually like how that looks on the bottom. I'm taking a little bit more and actually just going to stamp a little bit on the outer V up top, and I use the same color, Pele's Curse, Fix Plus the brush, and I'm going to place it in the outer V. I'm picking up my JH40 Jaclyn Hill Morphe brush, picking up a little bit more Fire, just a little bit, and I'm going to run it on the bottom lash, connect it to the top, just to diffuse and blend those colors together a bit more. Okay, now I'm going to do lashes and liner off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So for lashes, I used my 3 trusty favorites, my L'Oreal Voluminous Base to prime my lashes. I used my new favorite thing, I think it's just because I love this wand, but the Maybelline Lash Discovery on my lower lashes. It has a really nice, I'll show you, thin wand, which is great for the lower lashes, so use that. And then for my lashes, I use Too Faced Damn Girl. This is like becoming my new favorite. Love that thing. Alright, so for eyes, what I did was, I didn't want it to be too bold. I kind of like the red, smoky, I don't know, in my mind I was saying smoldering thing happening, not just too overt. But anyway, so I didn't want my liner to be too harsh, so really what I used was the Pat McGrath Black Coffee liner pencil. It's a really warm brown, and so I really just smoked it out, mostly on the corner, up a little bit higher on the outer third. Ran it just across the lash line, a little bit in the inside, and some right here on the outer third of my lower lash line. And then what I did, which I really like to do aside from Tightline, let me just stop there. Tightlined, I used my IT Cosmetics No Tug pencil in black and just did a tightline underneath. And just above that, just to kind of go between the lashes, not really like too high up to make it look like thick eyeliner, I use my NYX That's the Point liquid liner. When I use this, I usually just stamp it just so slightly in there, so what it does is it gives a darker line, almost like a natural band, if you will, and it makes my lashes look really dark, thick, and so much fuller. So that's what I did. And for my first video ever, I actually used some colors on the lips. Not colors, color. I used my ColourPop, who's this collab by? ColourPop Karuchi liquid lipstick in the color Rouge. And that is all. Thank you for spending some time with me. I love doing these videos. They're so much fun to do. For my final thoughts on the palette, I like this palette a lot. I mean, if you have warm colors in your collection, you probably don't need it. But for me, I like the performance. I think the colors are really saturated. They showed up on my skin tone. I didn't have to layer and layer and layer, which can be a problem with some palettes. It was just perfect. Just went right in there and just worked with it. So I love the colors. I love the performance. I really like the palette. It's my first KKW Beauty palette, and I like it. So before you head on about your day or get into another video, why don't you go ahead and head on over to Instagram, check me out, see what I do. I'm not going to go through the blurb, I already did that in the beginning, but I would love for you to go by and check me out, and of course subscribe, or follow me because it's Instagram. Anyways, you know what, have a good day. I don't want to just babble on. If you have any comments or suggestions on things you want to see in the future or anything about this video, I would love to see your feedback. Go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. Thanks, and enjoy your day. Bye.